Hey, my name is Scotty, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sketch this classic car using my loose sketching technique. So follow me step by step, but we're going to start with 2 dots for the width of the car. So I'm going to place it just a little bit above halfway there, and then let's divide that width into 2. In this section on this side, the left hand side, divide that into 3 equal spaces. So put 2 dots there. It goes across, then it dips down just a little bit, continues up. Then we're drawing this front part of the wheel. So I'm going to draw the light little bit there and then down. So divide that into 3 as well. So put a dot there and there. Have an angle on the windscreen. It could come around about where that dot is there. Across, and then we've got a side mirror, and then right across to the end. So we've got the top shape of the car. Now let's get the perspective where it really counts, is those wheels. So we're trying to find those 3 points of the wheels. We have an angle on the front between those 2 front wheels and an angle at the back between those wheels. Measure that distance, and then go down from that dot. And that's approximately how far that edge is there. Now this corner, the front edge that's closest to us of the car, so grab that length there, measure that, and come down. It's there. So that halfway point between the 2 dots, we come down about 2/3. So that's what I'm measuring. Now this back angle can't be flat, has to have perspective as well, because we've got 2-point perspective here. We can actually measure from this point, go right straight across. Now you can see the car in 2-point perspective. We can see that angle here and here. But before we outline this shape here, we want to make the wheels incorrect perspective. So I'm going to help you with that, and we're going to use a pencil. From between these 2 dots here, I want to find the axle, the middle of the wheels, so we can draw the wheels around that axle. And it looks like it's a little bit lower than halfway. And then I just go down a scooch, and then I go down a scooch, there. So that angle should be very similar. I'm going to find that width of the wheel. Come down, it's almost exactly lining with that point. So I'm going to put a dot there. So that's our width at that angle. But the other axis, the y-axis, is at this perpendicular to this one. So we have to make sure that the circle we're drawing, or the oval, is at the correct angle, about level with this dot here, the corner dot, to there. A wheel hub coming across, so we can actually draw that down to there, up to that point. Okay, so you've drawn your first wheel in perspective. There's a gap between the edge of the tyre, and we come across the windscreen. It's to the left a bit of that. So we come down, same as this one, we come down to where that point is. That same distance is about there. And let's draw that arc. Get a bit of wobbly line. 2/3 now from this point down to here. Put that there. Put that there. So it should be narrower than this one. And then if you go the same distance up around this arc, go all the way. And I'm adding some little details. Make it a nice wobbly loose line. Basket on the back. That's great for picnics. Now the person. Top of his hat. It's a straight line. Curves around. It just comes across the outline there. Goes up. Wobbles through there. Now we're going to draw this big hub that goes right through the middle of the car. Arc it around like that. So connect those up. Connect that down to the axle line there, and angle that line up like that. And we can give that thickness. Back arc like that. Now this wheel in the middle, and draw a line. And what about the width? There. The same angle we had here, going up. A hint that there's something holding the wheel. Putting that in there, and then down. Now we're going to put an arc. And now make this same circle, but a little bit to the left now. Circle here. Now link those dots up. Then a circle right in the middle. And then we just go straight, just draw ovals that are straight up and down, quite thin ovals. And the lights here. Now onto all the details. So it goes up. Add the second one here. We can add a few spokes in there too. I think anyone would look cool driving a car like this. And then around that bit, around the green bit, the little light here. So it comes right across this line there. And then a few lines there, so I just add those. And then windscreen wipers with a handle And then I'll divide up the face. So we have the hat, and then come down for the eye like that. It's more in the corner of the mouth like that. And then a loop on this side for that eye. Okay, that's all the detail. Now let's get on to the watercolor. So the color we're going to use is Viridian Green with just a little hint of Payne's Grey. Actually turn my page like this. So my board here is at an angle. This will help because I want the front of the car to look slightly lighter than the back because the sun is coming from the top left-hand corner for this car. See how it pulls more at the bottom? Going around that panel. Pure Payne's Grey in there. And I'm making it a bit lighter on the top again. So as I'm coming towards the green, I'm leaving a gap. Bring that down. And then we're not doing the tyre, we're going around the tyre. So I'm going to let that dry. Okay, going back to our normal position. And this wheel here. Payne's Grey as well. So for these silver bits, we can make them also Payne's Grey, but add a lot more water. Little blobs, but leaving lots of white. I'm simplifying them a lot. Some more through there. Between those lines. Add even bits like this. Some yellow ochre now, part of that cover. And that's the steering wheel. My cadmium red. There is a light on the back. He is an enthusiast. So what I'm going to do is add that burnt umber into the Payne's Grey to give it a warmer look. Around each tyre like that. Taking out some of that water. Another glaze across here above the tyre. See, I just want to add a lip on this top bit of the hub. I didn't draw a line there. Okay, let's go across. If you're brave and want to add just a bit more interest to your sketch, we're going to use our toothbrush. It might stand out a bit more. Have some ultramarine and then add in a bit of rose. You can come across the wheel here, you can see there's a shadow going across there and has some lighting, so I'm leaving some white. Starting from here, and I have to make up a little bit of this. It's across there and then down and then across this wheel. So in there, like that, and then around the back of his shoulder. Now in a car there are lots of interesting highlights, so I have my Uniball Signo pen. We have edges like this where it hits the top edge here, and as it comes down I can see there's lots of reflections here, highlights across this, and there's on this back panel here, as it curves that light hits there, so reflection there and there, you got two. And that's how I sketch a car using ink and watercolor. Hope you enjoyed the process. If you want the full version, high-res reference, and the templates, you can join my Patreon membership, and I've got the full version there without the cuts. I've got a whole lot more theory to describe how to do the wheels and the perspective, because that's a tricky part of this sketch. Otherwise, there's another tutorial right here on YouTube. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.